Okay. Uh, Today we'll start of, uh, of, uh, of unit number 1. The point is load and load combinations. So last lecture we have started this point, load and load combinations. Generally various loads we are considering on the steel structures. That loads are the uh, dead loads, imposed load. Imposed load is nothing but live load, then wind load, snow loads, temperature, hydrostatic, soil pressure, then earthquake load, erection load, and other secondary loads due to change in temperature or differential settlement of building or due to eccentric connection. So these are the various types of loads generally coming on the structure, and that loads are we are considering while calculating the or designing the our civil engineering steel structures. So last lecture we have started this point. Again, I will brief about this load and load combinations. Generally, this load is important because under the particular load we have to design the members, and that load may be dead load, means due to self weight, then maybe live load, maybe wind load, or systematic load, or maybe other types of loads like accidental load or snow load, then hydrostatic load. Different types of loads are there. So then we have to know about, or what are the codal provisions, how to calculate the loads on particular structure, that we have to learn again. Then we have to go for the load combinations with certain factor of safety that we have to see. Here if we see, the different types of loads are given in IS 875 part 1 to 5. See, if we see from dead load to the dead load to the temperature load, there are 5 parts of IS 875 are there. So various loads and load combinations have been given, and now in part 1 is the dead load of the structure. Then the part 2 is IS 875 part 2 is related to live load. Then part 3 IS 875 part 3 is related to wind load, part 4 is related to snow load, and part 5 is related to temperature, soil pressure, fatigue, and accidental impact. Now uh, we have seen last lecture in details. So please write down this one by one in your notebook. Write down load and load combinations. So write down all the 6-7 loads: dead load, imposed load, snow load, and generally many times you have asked a question in examination. Which IS code is used for live load, or which IS code is used for imposed load. So which IS code is used for imposed load? So IS 875 part 2. So some this, some questions, MCQ type questions you will be asked in examination. That is, which type of IS code is used for imposed load, which type of IS code is used for wind load or snow load, and we have to write these answers: IS 875 part 1 or part 2 or part 3 or part 4. So like this, keep or remember this, which IS code is required for which type of particular load. Now next, okay, next point is the related to IS code, IS 800 2007, clause number 5.3.1. See, IS 800 2007, clause number 5.3.1. If we see, the structural system has been classified in 3 groups. One is permanent action, Permanent action means the load which are permanent in nature. These are basically self-weight of structure, which we can generally dead load. Means permanent weight of structure is nothing but the dead load of that particular structure. Then so these are the permanent actions. So another is variable action. Second one is the variable action. So variable action is basically imposed load. It means live load and wind load. The variable action is imposed load and wind load, or we can consider as an earthquake load also. So these are not permanent. See, first action or system is the permanent action. In permanent action, there is only dead load is a permanent action. Self weight of structure is nothing but the permanent action. But in second point is the variable action. Variable action means the loads are changes, or sometimes it may be higher, sometimes it may be less. So which type of loads are movable loads? So there are imposed loads, earthquake load, wind load. These all the loads are the movable load. So there may be the not permanent action, the variable action is there. Then uh, another is the third is the accidental action. So action due to accidental load like explosion or due to sudden impact, such type of accident action happen. So that has to also be taken into care. So accidental action is nothing but due to accidental load like explosion or due to sudden impact. Such type of accidental action may be happen in our site. So that impact action may be due to earthquake or due to any machine fall down on the floor. At that time impact load will come on our structure. So that is the accidental action. Now as I have told that while designing the steel structures, the load combinations have to be considered with partial safety factor. So partial safety factor, I have already discussed, that is a dead load plus imposed load. Here we will multiply with 1.5 and dead load plus imposed load plus wind load or seismic load, that is 1.2. See, dead load plus imposed load, that is one of load combination is there. When we are considering the load on the steel structure, that time we are considering the load combinations. So various loads we have seen: dead load, live load, imposed load, wind load or earthquake load. That load we have seen. But while considering that load on the structure, we are taking the combinations of that load. So first combination we have seen, here we can see the dead loads plus imposed load. And generally dead load plus imposed load, we can multiply. Factor of safety for that load is 1.5. Means addition of these two load into 1.5, that will be the final load on that structure. Similarly, second type of load combination is dead load plus imposed load plus wind load or earthquake load. So second type of load, see, dead load plus imposed load plus wind load or earthquake load. So addition of these three loads, and we can factor these three loads by multiplying 1.2. 1.2, because multiply addition of when we can add these three loads, we can multiply, or we will multiply by 1.2, because 1.2 is the factor of safety. Means whatever load coming on the structure, that is the working load, and when the one we will multiply by 1.2, that will be factored load. So additional factored load we will consider when the design of the our steel structure. Then a third load combination is dead load plus wind load or earthquake load. Again, for this third combination of load, we can multiply again 1.5. Means dead load, if we add dead load and addition of dead load and wind load, then we can again factor by multiply by 1.5, and that is the third combination. So first combination is dead load plus imposed load. Second combination is dead load plus imposed load plus wind load. Third combination is dead load plus wind load. and we are multiplying 1.5, 1.2 and 1.5 again. And the last combination is the dead load plus erection load. So with the help of this 4 load combination, we can design our civil engineering steel structure. So where this we are seeing in as an introduction in unit number 1, but we have to analyze, or we have to analysis, or we have to design our steel structural member in unit number 7. In unit number 7, we are actually calculating these dead loads, live loads, imposed loads or wind loads, and we are taking the combinations for the design. Means here we will see only theoretical, what are the loads and what are the combinations. But in unit number 7, roof truss, chapter unit number 7 is roof truss. In unit number 7, we will see in details and how to calculate each and every load, how to calculate dead load of structure, how to calculate the live load of structure, how to calculate wind load which is coming outside the building, then how to consider earthquake load, how to consider the erection load. That all the types of load we will learn in detail in unit number 7. So this is the structural system where the permanent actions, variable actions and accidental actions are coming on the structures, and we are considering the loads for this particular 3 actions, and that combinations are there: the dead load, live load, dead load plus live load plus wind load, and dead load plus wind load, and last is the dead load plus erection load. So these are the four load combinations we are considering while designing the structure. So while I am dictating, you can write down the some pointers also. Now next point. So first 2 types of loads are dead load and live load. The calculation of dead load and live loads are very simple. That means only the self weight, that is in Newton per meter or Newton per meter square, or live load calculation and dead load calculations are very simple. But while designing the steel structure, the lengthy and very important calculations, that are the wind load calculations. So wind load calculations are very important, and because we are designing these steel structures for industry purpose, and the length and width of industry is very high. So the impact of wind load is very high on our steel structures. So we can measure or calculate the wind load calculations carefully. So how to calculate the wind load calculations? And for wind load calculation, you can see here IS 875 part 3 1987. This IS code is used for the wind load calculation, and that IS code is allowed for examination to you. Means total 3 handbooks are allowed to use in examination. That is IS 800 2007 limit state method code. Second, steel table, in steel table where various steel sections are given, and third is the IS 875 part 3. These 3 codes allowed to use in examination for writing theory examination. So how to calculate wind load calculation? In clause number 5.3 IS 875 part 3, the first we have to calculate the design wind speed. Design wind speed in meter per second, means velocity of wind, that we have to calculate first. So that is depend upon the height of the building. So velocity, design wind speed in meter per second. Speed is we are measuring in meter per second. We can say velocity also. So it depends upon the height of the building. So next line you can see here, VZ. VZ is the design wind speed. VZ is equal to K1 into K2 into K3 into VB. Now you can see here where VB, what is VB? VB is the basic wind speed. VB is the basic wind speed. Now come to this figure. You can see this table. So how we can take the VB value? See, basic wind speed in meter per second. So 55 meter per second, 50 meters per second, 47, 44, 39 and 33. These 6 velocities we are considering in overall India as per the zones provided in India. See, these are the zones. The color column is indicating the zones, and these zones are divided. These 6 zones are divided in overall India. So now, which we are coming on which zone? Means our Solapur district is coming which zone? That given in steel table. Steel table last page page number 125. On the steel table page number 125, that all the city wise, means in Pune city, what is the wind velocity? In Solapur city or in Nagpur or Delhi, Agra, at particular place, what is the wind velocity? And these are the depends upon the zones. So there are 6 zones: zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for zone 1, there may be 55 meter per second is the speed of wind. For zone 2, 50 meter per second. For zone 3, 47 meter per second. For zone 4, 44. Zone 5, 39, and zone 6, 33. Generally, our Pune region, we can say Paschim Maharashtra. So Pune region is coming under the zone 5. So I will show you in IS code entire map of our country. Entire map of our country and how the zones are divided. That we will see. I will show you in when I will open the IS code after this wind calculation. So have you understand this table? There are 6 zones in overall India. As per the zones, the wind speed are there. So for zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and zone 5 or zone 6, there are the 55 to 39 meter per second velocity speed is there. So basic wind speed. So VB is nothing but we have to calculate the design wind speed. So design wind speed is equal to VZ is equal to K1, K2, K3 into VB. So VB is nothing but basic wind speed. So you can find, take the value of VB from this table. Are you getting? So in examination, you have asked the question that your steel structural building is located in Agra. So you have to go in steel table for the Agra city. What is zone, and for that zone which wind speed is there, that you have to find by using the steel table or IS code. So VB is basic wind speed, and that basic wind speed we can find from this table or from IS code. Now K1. Next, what is K1? K1 is the probability factor, or we can call as a risk coefficients, that comes in table number 1 IS 800 part 3. Table number 1 मध्ये तुम्हाला K1 ची व्हॅल्यू IS 875 part 3 मध्ये टेबल नंबर 1 मध्ये K1 ची व्हॅल्यू दिलेली आहे. That you can take from table number 1. Now K2, terrain or height factor, or we can say the structure size factor. So it is in table number 2 IS 875 part 3. So in IS 875 part 3, there may be table number 2 for the K2. And now K3 is there. So K3 is the topography factor, where your building is located and how the topography of that particular area. So that is again given in IS 875 part 3, clause number 5.3.3. Here the topography factors are given. So K1, K2, K3 values we can take from the IS 875 part 3, and again VB we can take from the steel table. So with the help of these 4 parameters VB, K1, K2, K3, you can find out the VZ is equal to K1 into K2 into K2 into VB. Are you getting how to calculate design wind speed in meter per second? That is the design wind speed. So design wind speed is nothing but VZ, and with these parameters we can calculate the basic design wind speed. Now after the calculation of design wind speed, you have to calculate the design wind pressure. Here you can see the design wind pressure. After calculation of wind speed, you have to calculate design wind pressure on coming on the structure. So it is PZ. PZ is nothing but the design wind pressure. So design wind pressure is equal to 0.6 VZ square. So we have find out VZ in last slide. You can see here we have find out VZ. In VZ we have find out from the basic wind speed. From the basic wind speed we have find out VZ, that is design wind speed, and here we can calculating the design wind pressure. That design wind pressure PZ is equal to 0.6 into VZ square. So we can multiply 0.6 to VZ square, we will get the design wind pressure. Are you getting? Now the wind pressure at any height of the structure is depend on the following pointers. The wind pressure at any height. So the height of building is varies from 10 meter to 20 meter, 25 meter. So it depend. The wind pressure is depend upon the height of the your building. So what are the points we have to consider while calculating the design wind pressure? So velocity and density of air, that we have to consider. Velocity means that is VB, that we have consider in VZ. Then height above the ground level. Above the ground level, how much height of that particular our steel building, that we have to learn. Then shape and aspect ratio of the building. Shape and aspect ratio means length to width ratio, that we have to consider. That also given in IS 875 part 3. IS 875 part 3, that in that given aspect ratio of the building also. Then topography of the surrounding ground surface, means K3 factor we are considering while calculating this design wind pressure. Then angle of wind attack. We will learn in detail in unit number 7 in roof truss, how to calculate wind load, how to consider the angle of wind. Angle of wind means sometimes wind is acting perpendicular to the our inclined roof, or sometimes wind is acting parallel to our inclined roof. So if the wind is acting perpendicular or wind is acting on the structure parallel, then we have to, some coefficients are there, that coefficients we have to learn in again in the unit number 7 also. So this is the basic part of introductory part of the unit number 7 that we are we can see here. And again solidity ratio or opening in the structure, that also given in IS 875. See, it means many more data what required, or we have to we want that given in IS code, because we are designing our steel structures, and for that the government of India, that is Indian standard, has specified some parameters for the design of steel structure or RC structure also. So for RC structure also one of IS code is there, IS 456/2000, that you will learn in final year. And here we are designing the steel structure. So here IS 800/2007 is for the limit state, is we are using for the designing the steel structure. So this is related to design wind speed. So how to calculate design wind speed? PZ is equal to 0.6 VZ square. Okay. Now next is the design wind force. From the design wind pressure, we can calculate the design wind force. See what we have calculated. Initially we have calculated the design wind speed. Then we have calculate what? See here. Initially, Vz we have calculated. After the Vz, we have calculated Pz. So Vz is nothing but design wind speed. Now Pz is nothing but design wind pressure. And at the last, we can calculate the total wind load on the wind force on the structure in Newton. That pressure and speed are in meter per second or in Newton per mm square. But here the force, design wind force is in Newton or kilonewton. So here force F is equal to Cf into Ae into Pz. It means Cf is the force coefficient. So that coefficients are given in IS 875 part 3, page number 16. On the page number 16, clause number 6.3, that are given on the in the IS 875. Now that Cf is the coefficient. Now Ae, effective frontal area, means, see, if you see our inclined roof structure, here you can see the inclined part is there. Our top part is inclined. So on the inclined part, the wind force is acting. On the top inclined part, the wind force is acting. So that area is the frontal area for the wind. For the wind, that is the area. And Pz is the design wind pressure. From these three, we can calculate the force in Newton or kilonewton. Are you getting? So how to calculate design wind force? So Cf into Ae into Pz. So Pz we have calculated already. Ae is the frontal area that we will consider on which area wind force is acting, and Cf is the force coefficient of the building. That force coefficient of building we will get from the IS 875 page number 16, and that is depend upon the height of the building, height to width ratio. So if we see the IS code 875, then you will get the how to find these coefficients. So how to calculate total wind load? F is equal to Cf into A into Pz. Now wind load, second point, wind force on the roof and wall is given by how to given by here A into P, this area, but here Cf, that Cf is the coefficient. So Cf coefficient, again how to calculate coefficient? Cpe minus Cpi. So coefficient, external coefficient minus internal coefficient. So there is chance of wind force not only external side. So wind force it will come internally also, because the shade of our industrial shade size is very large. So the wind may be come inside also. So there may be two impact of winds are there, internally and externally also. So there may be some coefficients for external also given in IS 875, and some coefficients externally are given into. So external coefficients minus internal coefficients, and in for this coefficients we can multiply the area into stress, then we will get the force. So coefficients have no unit, area is in mm square, and again that this pressure is in Newton per mm square. So mm square get cancelled, so we get force in the Newton. Are you getting? This force is equal to, this is coefficient, so coefficient have no unit. So area into stress, so area into stress will get the force. So force is equal to this formula that given in clause number 6.2.1 of IS 875 part 3. Okay, now what is CPE, external pressure coefficients, that again given in clause number 6.2.2. Then CPI, internal pressure coefficients, is given in clause number 6.2.3 of IS 875 part 3. And capital A is the surface area of structural element, means whatever area facing to wind, that area we have to consider for the calculation of the force. So how to calculate wind force? So wind force F is equal to Cp minus Cpi into A into Pz, and then we can calculate the this external coefficients and internal coefficients, and we can subtraction here, we can subtract the internal and external coefficients here, and then we can multiply area into stress, and we will get the force. So with this we can calculate the design wind force. Here we have seen the calculations of wind force. Similarly, we can calculate the dead load and live load also, but there are no critical calculations of dead load and live load. There may be simple calculations are there, and wind load calculations are more criticals in designing of steel structure. So here we have seen in our unit number 1, that is loads and load combinations. So various types of loads: dead load, wind load, live load, earthquake load, and that loads, how to calculate and how to combine these loads for our designing steel structure, that we have seen in our unit number 1. So here our unit number 1 is over. Just we will brief in 2 minutes what we have learned in unit number 1. So we have learned in unit number 1, that is initial part is the what is steel, how we can make a steel, means what are the components of steel, that is we are adding the carbon and manganese in the steel, and we can make the steel. Then we have seen various advantage and disadvantage of steel, disadvantages of steel structure, that we have learned. Then third point we have learned, that is various steel sections. So steel sections are the eye sections, channel sections, angle sections, tube sections, plate sections. So various types of steel sections are available in market, and that steel sections are manufactured in fabricated industry in strictly supervision. So there may be no chance of any failure of the or we are preparing that member in steel factory. So there may be with strict supervision they are prepared, so that they are they in a very good members are available to us. Then these various steel sections are over. Then after the steel sections, what we have seen, after steel section we have seen the classifications of our okay, our meeting class will stop within some second. We will resume again, then we will discuss again.